Writing. The camera slowly fades in from black, the sound of a deep, rumbling engine echoing in the background before the car even appears. A low growl builds anticipation, something raw, something powerful, something unmistakably classic. As the frame brightens, sunlight reflects off a long, sculpted hood, revealing one of the most iconic muscle machines ever built. This is not just a car. This is attitude on wheels. This is legacy forged in steel. This is the legendary Plymouth Beast. Today, we're diving deep into a machine that defined an era, dominated streets, and continues to command respect decades later. From its aggressive exterior styling to its driver-focused interior, from its thunderous performance to what it costs to own one today, we're covering everything you need to know about this classic monster. As the camera circles around the front, the first thing that hits you is presence. This car doesn't politely ask for attention, it demands it. The front fascia is bold and unapologetic, with a wide stance that hugs the ground like a predator ready to strike. The grille design is clean yet aggressive, often finished in black to enhance that stealthy, intimidating look. Flanking the grille around are rectangular headlights depending on the model year, each adding to the car's distinct personality. Moving along the hood, you'll notice its sheer length. It stretches forward like a runway, often featuring functional or decorative hood scoops that hint at the power lurking beneath. These scoops weren't just for show in many versions, they were designed to feed cool air directly into the engine, improving performance and giving the car an even more aggressive identity. The body lines are pure muscle. There's nothing overly complicated here, just bold curves and sharp edges working together to create a timeless silhouette. The fenders bulge slightly, giving the car that wide-shouldered look, like an athlete ready to sprint. Chrome accents are tastefully applied, never excessive, just enough to catch the light and highlight the craftsmanship of the era. As the camera glides along the side profile, the long doors and low roofline become evident. This car sits low, giving it a planted stance that screams performance. The rear quarter panels are wide and powerful, flowing seamlessly into the back of the car. Depending on the trim, you might see iconic decals, racing stripes, or bold lettering that further emphasize its identity as a true muscle legend. Then we reach the rear. This is where things get even more dramatic. The taillights often span across the width or appear in distinctive shapes that make the car instantly recognizable even at night. The rear bumper is simple but solid, while dual exhaust pipes sit proudly underneath, hinting at the thunder they produce. When the engine fires up, those exhausts don't whisper, they roar. Speaking of that roar, let's talk about what lies under the hood. But before we get there, let's step inside. The door opens with a solid, mechanical feel, no lightweight modern materials here. This is old-school engineering, built to last. As you slide into the driver's seat, you're immediately transported back in time. The interior is simple, functional, and entirely focused on the driving experience. The seats are wide and comfortable, often upholstered in vinyl or leather depending on the trim. They're not overly bolstered like modern sports cars, but they provide enough support to keep you planted when the car comes alive. The stitching, the texture, the smell, everything about it feels authentic. In front of you sits a classic steering wheel, typically large in diameter, giving you the true vintage driving feel. It's not overloaded with buttons or controls. Instead, it offers a direct connection to the car, reminding you that driving is meant to be an experience, not just a task. Behind the wheel, the instrument cluster is straightforward and easy to read. Analog gauges dominate the dashboard, displaying speed, RPM, fuel level, and temperature. There's something incredibly satisfying about watching those needles move as you press the accelerator. It's a mechanical dance, a visual representation of the car's heartbeat. The dashboard itself is clean and driver-oriented. You won't find massive touchscreens or digital displays here. Instead, you get physical knobs, switches, and buttons that provide tactile feedback. Adjusting the radio or climate controls feels deliberate, almost ritualistic. Speaking of the radio, depending on the model and year, you might have a classic AM or AM/FM system. It's not about high-tech entertainment, it's about the soundtrack of the engine. And trust me, that's all the music you'll need. The center console, if equipped, adds a bit of practicality, offering storage space and housing the gear shifter. Whether it's a manual or automatic transmission, the shifter feels solid and purposeful. Grabbing it and shifting gears connects you directly to the car's power. Legroom and space are decent for a classic muscle car, though the rear seats are more suited for occasional use. This isn't a family cruiser, it's a driver's machine. Now, let's get to the heart of this beast, the engine. Under that long hood lies the soul of the car. Depending on the specific model and configuration, you could find a range of powerful V8 engines, each delivering a unique driving experience. From smaller displacement version 8s to massive big block monsters, the options were all about performance. When you turn the key, the engine doesn't just start, it awakens. There's a moment where everything comes to life, followed by a deep, throaty rumble that sends vibrations through the entire car. It's raw, it's unfiltered, and it's absolutely addictive. Press the accelerator, and the response is immediate. There's no delay, no hesitation, just pure power being unleashed. The car surges forward with authority, the rear wheels gripping the road as the engine roars louder with each passing second. Acceleration is thrilling. Even by today's standards, these cars can be incredibly quick, especially the high-performance variants. The feeling of being pushed back into your seat as the car gains speed is something that never gets old. Handling is a different story compared to modern cars, but that's part of the charm. This is not a precision instrument designed for tight corners, it's a straight-line powerhouse. The steering is heavier, the suspension is softer, and the ride can feel a bit raw. But that's exactly what makes it special. You feel everything. Every bump, every turn, every bit of feedback from the road comes through the steering wheel and the seat. It's a visceral experience that modern cars often filter out. Braking requires more effort as well, especially in older models without modern systems. You need to plan ahead and drive with awareness, but that only adds to the sense of control and involvement. Now let's talk about ownership and pricing. Owning a classic Plymouth muscle car today is both exciting and, in some cases, a serious investment. Prices can vary widely depending on the model, condition, originality, and rarity. Entry-level models or those in project condition can start at a relatively accessible price point. These are cars that may require restoration or some level of work, making them ideal for enthusiasts who enjoy bringing machines back to life. Well-maintained examples in good condition command higher prices. These cars are often ready to drive and enjoy, offering a balance between authenticity and usability. Then there are the rare, high-performance variants, the ones collectors dream about. Fully restored or original examples of these can reach very high price levels, sometimes even into six figures depending on their history and specifications. Maintenance is another factor to consider. Being classic vehicles, they require care and attention. Parts availability can vary, though many components are still accessible thanks to the strong enthusiast community. Regular maintenance is essential to keep the car running smoothly. Fuel consumption is not something you buy this car for efficiency. These engines are built for power, and they drink fuel accordingly. But for most owners, that's a trade-off they're more than willing to accept. Insurance costs can vary as well, often depending on how the car is used. Many owners opt for classic car insurance policies, which can offer better rates if the vehicle is not used as a daily driver. Despite these considerations, owning this car is about more than just numbers. It's about passion. It's about history. It's about the feeling you get every time you start the engine and hit the road. As the video begins to wrap up, the camera returns to sweeping shots of the car in motion. The sunlight reflects off its body as it cruises down an open road, the engine note echoing in the distance. This Plymouth isn't just a vehicle, it's a symbol of an era when cars were bold, loud, and unapologetically powerful. It represents freedom, rebellion, and the pure joy of driving. Even today, it turns heads wherever it goes. People stop, stare, and listen as it passes by. It sparks conversations, brings back memories, and creates new ones. And that's what makes it truly legendary. If you're someone who appreciates raw power, timeless design, and an authentic driving experience, this classic beast is something you need to experience at least once in your life. Because cars like this aren't just built, they're born to leave a mark. And this one has left an unforgettable legacy. The engine revs one final time as the screen fades to black, leaving behind the echo of pure muscle and the feeling of something truly special.